Getting ready to stream here. Okay. And we're live on YouTube, so that's where you will find the replay. And good.
Well, all right.
So, welcome to Freedom from False Identities and Anchoring into Sovereign Authenticity. This is a topic that is really close to both of our hearts, really. We were pretty excited when we got this inspiration to tackle this topic, which is a big one for a lot of people, because both of us have lived with really the struggle for most of our lives, living false identities, living someone else's script or someone else's idea of who they wanted us to be and trying to fit into all of those roles. And it wasn't just one role. It wasn't just, okay, this is how I'm supposed to be, even though it's different from my true divine nature, I'm going to live this way. No, it was many different roles. It was what my parents expected of me, what my husband expected of me, what my friends expected of me, what my church expected of me, what society expected of me, and compartmentalizing all those different parts of ourselves based on those different roles that we play. And that's exhausting. It's really exhausting. And I didn't ever really, it didn't hit home for me really how important authenticity is for everyone, but especially for me personally, when I took a really intensive whole person life coach training in, I think it was 2012. And one of the exercises that we did and that we learned how to take our clients through, and if you've been through some of our programs, you've at least my programs, you've done this exercise with me before, the values exercise. And I discovered that authenticity is actually my top value. So I was living, in opposition to, not in alignment with my number one top value in many areas of my life. And it's draining our light when we're not living our true divine authentic self. It's exhausting to us on every level.
Yes, and it makes us sick. I had those of you that have been following my work for a while have definitely heard me talk about my health struggles and challenges really from the time I was born. So I came into this world with a lot of health problems, but um, I actually can understand that a lot of that had to do with what I'd taken on from my mother, who really um, I was kind of stepping right into from the get-go, right from birth, and taking on so much of what was hers. So again, not even something that was all mine, didn't even all belong to me right from the start. So, and for us, for my mom and myself, religion was a big part of that, and rules and expectations, and just really not being able to just be yourself, right? And more than that, being told that the things that you intuitively kind of know about yourself and even the universe of the world around you were wrong, right? And so I know that so many of you can relate to this topic. We've all been here. We've all done this in some way, shape, or form. Some of us a lot more than others. But even though I've been doing healing work and was drawn to energy work and healing work before I was even really 20 years old, it took me decades to go like public with this work because I was still kind of boxed into some of those roles and scripts. And I didn't want to let my family down. I didn't want to hurt them. And I felt like being public would do that. So It takes a long time. Here I am. I'm supposed to be doing this work. And I definitely was doing it, for myself, for some friends and all of that. But it took a long time to just show up in the world with these tools and with the healing work. So
And
I'm
another
sure.
thing about living those false identities as you're talking, I'm thinking about one of the things that it really how it impacts us is, and one of the reasons why we do this in the first place is to try to be loved and accepted,
Mhm.
right? We want to be loved and accepted, and we think that by being who somebody else wants us to be, they're going to love and accept us. But the truth is, they're not really loving and accepting us because we're not showing them who we really are. And so,
Mhm.
and we know that deep down. And so then we're never going to feel loved and accepted. And so we're just going to keep this cycle of trying to fit into what somebody else wants of us so that we can feel loved and accepted, but it's doing the opposite of what's actually going to make us feel that way.
And I love that you shared that because that's at the core, right? And it's so important. And it's why one of my favorite things in my life is I want to know those that are in my life. I want to know you all the way. I want to know everything about you, because then I can just love you more, right? I can do that. And I think that part of that deep drive to want to know all parts of those I care about, right? Stems from that, from not feeling like I could share my full self growing up. I certainly couldn't. So let's break through these molds. Let's break out of these boxes. Let's set these roles down that are keeping us small, that aren't letting us be ourselves, right? We're really all here to be the unique vibration, that unique frequency that lights up the world. We need all of us, right? We need every single light shining in authenticity, right? That's how we heal each other. That's how we heal the world. That's how we heal ourselves. And so here we are together, going into a really important topic. And we're so thrilled that you're all here to be with us. Because when we gather like this together, as so many of you know, what do we get to do? We get to amplify, right? We get to amplify all of the healing, everything that we're bringing to clear. We expand in all of that when we gather as a group. So thank you for being here. Um, and here we go.
And also, good job for being here, for showing up for yourself and doing the work, because the more of us that are doing the work, the more it's going to help raise the vibration of the whole entire planet. So, congratulations for doing this for yourself and for all of us.
Yeah. So we're sure this is familiar, right? So let's get the stuff coming to the surface. We can diving right in. It's already happening for so many of you here. And if you participated in the journaling exercise that we also made available to those of you that registered, let's just get a few little questions going here. How many masks are you wearing? How many roles are you playing out day in, day out that just aren't really who you are, right? What scripts are running in your life that belong to someone else? Because we
Yeah.
have that message that we've been sharing. You've probably been hearing it in emails and posts that the privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are. Carl Jung, right? Until you are authentically yourself, you're living your life for someone else, as someone else. Maybe even if you feel like I have felt or had felt so many years of especially my younger life, I felt like I was living just barely a shadow of myself, right? A life that fits into expectations of someone or something else, right? So we take on these false identities, we put on these masks, we play these roles that are shaped by family, community, society. Maybe they're cellular ancestral imprints that we're here to break free from. These identities, they keep us small, but they don't have to continue to keep us small. So we're here, we're together. We're going to be clearing false identities that are keeping you from your true essence, doing a lot of releasing work from external expectations, the weight of others' ideas about who we are or who we should be or who we shouldn't be. Anchoring into that sovereign authenticity, that highest frequency that you can embody. We're also going to be, you're going to want to stick around for this. We're going to be sharing an extraordinary opportunity. It's been 3 years in the making and how you can be a part of that if you would like to. We'll talk about that at the end of our call today. Um, and um, and just keeping in mind, if you're finding us here on YouTube, you may still want to actually register because that's how you can get that journal that'll help you. It's got a lot of questions on it to help you go deeper into the healing that's available through this experience that we're doing together here. And also, we're going to be sending out the kind of isolated healing audio so that you can repeat it easily. It'll be downloadable and you can really get the most out of this workshop, this
So
masterclass.
if you're listening and you didn't register, you can just go to cocreatingmiracle.com/freedom and you can register there, and we'll go back and put the links up when we're after this class is over. And also if you're here with us on Zoom or if you're watching the replay, let us know if you resonate with what we're saying. Let us know, what roles have you accepted that aren't you? Where are you living? It's someone else's idea of who you are. And are you ready to step into your own authentic divine nature? So we talked a little bit about why authenticity is important, but authenticity is truly an expression of pure truth, the truth of who you are as a soul. It vibrates at one of the highest frequencies that we can access. There's a research study that's been done that is pointing to authenticity vibrating over 400 times higher than love itself. Love vibrates on a scale of emotions at 500. The scale of emotions that Dr. David Hawkins created, that many of you may be familiar with, goes from 0 to 1,000. So this new study, I think it's by the Spain Institute. I'll have to look at my notes on that again, but they're showing that it actually vibrates 400 times higher than love itself. And the reason for that, I believe, is that it is the essence of our truth.
Yeah.
And when we're living authentically, we're living our truth. And what could possibly be higher than that? Because our true divine nature is love. It
Mhm.
is compassion. It is all of those positive aspects of who we are. So we're living the best version of ourselves when we're truly living in authenticity, and not authenticity based on trauma, not authenticity based on old false programming, true soul authenticity. And that's what we are moving into in the healing in this class. So in this frequency of authenticity, we don't need to prove ourselves because we are ourselves. We're not seeking approval or outside validation. We don't have to hide. We're just radiating the pure essence of who we are, and that's enough. So what if you could just feel like by being yourself, you were enough? Because that unworthiness is the core issue for most of the people that we work with.
Yeah.
And if we could be authentically who we truly are at that soul level and feel like that was enough, that's all that I would be happy with accomplishing in my lifetime, or helping somebody else to do that. So we're pretty excited about the healing that we have planned for you today. And, another thing about living authentically is that that vibration is naturally going to magnetize to you all of the good things that you want to experience, and maybe things better than you can even imagine right now that you want to experience.
Totally. So if
So
you haven't gotten this feeling already, this is going to be a very interactive masterclass. We're going to be asking you It's a specific set of questions as we move through the healing experience today to help you really more deeply even engage with what within you is ready to release. So feel free, please, to share what's coming up for you as we move through the class in the comments, or you can share things that you've journaled about, leading up to this class as well. And we're going to start our healing by getting you really grounded, really connected to your higher guidance systems, right? Connecting deeply into that source frequency. And then we're going to be creating a really powerful container for you to bring everything that you want to release today into. And the container itself is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting, so to speak, a lot of the initial clearing work, and it's going to support you in really individualizing the healing to your unique needs. It's also going to be the space that extra amplifies everything that we're doing collectively together. Um, and then from there, we're going to go into more expanded clearing and healing work, bringing other tools across our modalities into this container and running those. So there's quite a few of you here seeing so many familiar faces that are really familiar with the sort of the tools and technologies that we work with that we've created over the years that are part of the three modalities that we're utilizing here for all of the work that we're doing together today. It's an integration of tools and technologies across sacred soul alignment, sacred soul symbol, of course, sacred light modality, which includes the sacred light technologies, which is the modality pathway that Elysia and I have created together, and then energetic allergy healing and energetic angel healing technologies. So we've tuned in, we've been receiving a lot of information that is for you today. If you're here, I mean, there's just no doubt you're here to receive some really powerful work. So bringing forward all the tools. What we're not going to do today is take the time to go into a lot of sort of descriptions about the modalities or the tools or the technologies. We really want to focus in on just delivering this healing. And part of doing that is having this really open conversation with you first, right? Why is this important? Um, so that you can get everything that's for you today from this experience. So that's our number one priority. Okay. And then afterwards, stick around because if you want more work like this on a regular basis, we're going to talk about how you can have that. So, how's everybody feeling?
Some
Oh,
good
Teresa,
comments coming in here.
getting shivers. So excited. Good. Leslie sharing. Excellent. Yeah, and we're going to be, what we see in the chat too. Elysia and I take that in, and we also kind of help facilitate, bringing all of your shares into the container and for the healing today. So don't be shy. Get those comments in there. Natalie, yay. Good. Perfect. So are we ready to go into the healing here? Let's
I think
see.
we're ready, and I think you can record this separately because I'm
Ooh.
recording on my computer so that you could do that,
Mm.
hopefully.
Yes. Let me just do that. And here we go. All right. Okay. So for the healing, you are going to want to just be in a quiet place where you can relax for, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Maybe 25 minutes. I'm not sure here. But find that quiet spot where you can just close your eyes and really focus on your breath. We're going to move you through a guided meditation process to get you really in your body, connected to your heart, grounded, connected to your higher guidance systems. And then we're going to move into that container creation and into that just continued healing that is coming through for all of you today. And that's going to include asking some of those really important questions to help you connect even deeper into what is ready for you to release today. Okay. So go ahead and close your eyes if that's comfortable. Drop down into your heart, really focusing your attention, your awareness on your heart. Begin breathing those longer, deeper breaths, finding a 5-second inhale and a 5-second exhale if you can. It's nice, deep, rhythmic breathing. You can place a hand on your heart if that helps you kind of maintain focus on your heart. Beautiful. Just continuing these longer, deeper breaths. Just take a moment to imagine that there is beautiful pink light that's all around you. This is the pink light of compassion, pure compassion frequency. Just imagine with each breath, this pink light is flowing into your heart. Imagine your heart is beginning to glow with pink light, getting brighter and brighter with each breath. Just allowing this compassion frequency to activate your heart. Begin to soften your heart, open your heart to all of the healing you're going to be receiving today. Beautiful. And we're going to take a few more moments here to really anchor into those really essential connections. So just continuing those deeper breaths. You can imagine that you're breathing as if you're breathing in and out of your heart. Good. Feeling into or bringing your awareness into the connection that exists within you between your heart and the heart of Gaia, our beautiful Mother Earth. Just allowing each breath to expand you within this connection, expanding you into the heart of Gaia, into the beautiful golden love light that she holds for you. Just hold the intention to anchor yourself in here, heart to heart with Gaia. And as you do, just sense, feel, or imagine that golden love light streaming into your heart. Good. It's also lighting up your heart along with that pink light of compassion. Beautiful. And now taking a moment to place your focus and awareness on the connection that exists within you between your heart and the heart of your higher self. Just allowing your breath to expand you in this connection, bringing you into a deep heart connection with the highest aspect of you that you can access right here in this moment. And you're going to anchor yourself in here, heart to heart, with your higher self or your divine aspect. Beautiful. Continuing to breathe those deeper breaths through your heart, beginning to place your focus and awareness now in the connection within you between your heart and the heart of Creator, the heart of Source. And yes, allowing your breath to expand you yet again, expanding you into this connection, expanding you into source of source light. And you're going to hold the intention to anchor yourself in here, heart to heart with Creator, anchoring into a pure creation frequency, iridescent source light. Good. And as you do, you may sense or you can imagine that iridescent source light is streaming into your heart, just amplifying in your heart. And taking a moment to notice how all of this light in your heart, that pink light of compassion, that golden love light from Gaia, that source love light, have all combined in your heart, creating an iridescent rose gold light. And as you breathe, just notice how all of this light is opening your heart chakra in the front and also in the back between your shoulder blades. And just noticing how with every breath, this light continues to expand to fill every cell of your body, all the space in between, and expands out from your physical body, filling your entire toroidal field so that you are in the center of a ball of light that is glowing. It's vibrating with this incredible iridescent rose gold light. And just holding the intention here to stay really grounded, really anchored into all of this light and into these essential connections as we move into creating our container.
Good. So we're going to be working with multiple technologies here. Most of them are sacred light technologies to create this powerful container for you to receive all of this healing, all of the activation that is coming. And you're probably already feeling it. So in divine love and light, activating, purify, and protect. This is really purifying your whole energy system and creating a very powerful layer of protection around you individually and around the entire group for all of the healing that's happening here. And divine love and light, calling in a golden orb of protection, just another beautiful layer of energy and protection to support us. Divine love and light, calling in the sacred light healing cocoon. It's the technology that just gently wraps around you, facilitating deep healing on all levels. Calling in divine, sacred light, divine balance. Again, just bringing in that balance to everything that you're receiving and releasing. Sacred light, divine shadow. This is going to allow the healing to really go deep into your shadow aspects. And this also really facilitates working with your ancestral lines and what you've taken on there. Sacred light, black cosmic crystal, just bringing in another layer of protection and support. Sacred light, ruby. This allows access to your ancestral Akash. So many of the issues and programming and patterns we're dealing with did not even originate with us. We took them on in our DNA through our ancestral line or through learned behavior in our families. Divine love and light, calling in open doors, opening the doors to living in and from your most divine, authentic self. Divine love and light, calling in sacred light distortion sensor. Really allowing any distortion in your fields individually to be highlighted to release. We're calling in sacred light cosmic heart. Allowing love, divine universal love to flow through all of this healing. And calling in white diamond collective. This is a technology that has multiple parts. If you're visual, you may see thousands of tiny white diamonds coming in and around you. They may be coming in around a part of you, like your heart. And I'm going to bring in some sacred soul symbols here. I have the cards if you want to open your eyes and look at the symbols to allow them to anchor into your field. And divine love and light, calling in the release symbol. Divine aspect. Root of the issue. and pattern disconnect. And Kim's going to bring in a couple of her energetic angel healing technologies here. Align to your highest timeline and flower of life. Good. And we're going to bring in 3 sacred light chambers. Divine love and light, activating the emotional recovery chamber, mood stabilizing chamber, and spiritual recovery chamber. Anchoring these in to this container. And also bringing in one of Kim's chambers, grounding, reprogramming, and connection chambers. Those are 3, I guess. 3 of Kim's chambers, just bringing those in now. Divine love and light, creator, change it. Anchoring all of that into this container that you're now all in, whether you're here live or listening at any time in the future. This work is all outside of time and space. And in divine love and light, calling in sacred light open. This really helps, activates multiple technologies and tools to help open your field to receiving healing and to allow you to be in resonance with the healing that's coming in for you, to release any resistance that you might be experiencing. And in divine love and light, calling in our sacred light healing template. Divine love and light, creator, change it. This includes all of the sacred light level 1 tools that are working with energy patterns such as beliefs, emotions, trauma, issues within relationships, entities, implants, and portals, dense energy patterns, along with multiple technologies and some very specific instructions. So this along with all of the technologies that are working for you are going to begin doing a lot of that heavy lifting of the clearing as we take you into some reflection questions. If you have done your journaling that we sent you, if you're registered, you're going to have your answers ready. And so bring them up if you have your journal handy. If you wrote these things down, you can grab it and bring it with you. And having that within this healing container is going to take it so much infinitely deeper.
All right, so moving into those questions here. So what masks have I worn to be accepted, successful, or loved? Who taught me that these masks were necessary?
And if
How
you have a pen, sorry, just want to say this, if you have a pen and paper, it's going to be a more powerful experience for you to write this down. You could just write one word down that really encompasses your answer.
Good. How does it feel in my body when I keep these masks on? What happens in my energy when I imagine taking them off? Okay, and whose story am I living? My families, my religions, my partners, my cultures? Which parts?
Good.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
So I'm just giving people a little time to really sink into these questions here before I move into the next one. So what part of that story that doesn't belong to you, that you're living, why did you adopt that in the first place? What was once keeping you safe, but it's now keeping you small? It served you at some point, but it's hindering you now. And one of the ways it may have hindered you is truths about you that were silenced. So what truths about you were silenced within those roles or those scripts. That story that doesn't belong to you. Good. You can share in the comments too if you don't have a pen and paper. A lot of you guys are sharing. We're looking at your comments. Good. So what roles do I automatically step into? What's your default role? Caretaker, achiever, peacekeeper, good girl, rebel, invisible one. And maybe there's different roles in different situations. What do you naturally default to in your family or with your friends or at work? Which of these roles feel heavy or outdated or just simply misaligned with who you are or who you are becoming? And are you aware of any silent or unspoken agreements or contracts that you took on with these roles that you're ready to let go of?
Good. Where do I feel most real, alive, unfiltered, unapologetic, or like you can just breathe? What sensations in your body say, yes, this is me. This is the real me. Where do I still feel tension or hesitation about showing that truth to others, right? Your real self, and bringing that into the world for others to see and to know. Good. And what if I no longer lived by others' expectations? All questions to ask ourselves here. What choices would you make today? How would you express yourself, your voice, your creativity, your love, if you trusted your own authority? Good. And what does sovereignty feel like in your energy field right now? We bet it's going to feel different now and at the end of the healing today. And a final question for contemplation. What are you holding that is keeping you small or holding you back that you are ready to let go of right now, today? Good. And this is an exercise you can come back to. If you've registered, you're going to get the healing, so it's easy to repeat it. So just allowing everything that's coming up for you, everything that you've identified in this time with us here so far, and as we've moved through these questions, and now that we have that powerful support of the container that we're all a part of here together. What false identities, what masks, the roles that you become aware of, bringing it all into this sacred healing container. Elysia and I have been reading the comments as well. So we're
Really
really,
good comments here.
yeah, so we're holding that, bringing those in with you. Beautiful. And we're going
And
to
if you
start.
don't, yeah, sorry. If you don't know, there's someone says, so many of these questions, I don't know the answer. That's okay. Your soul knows the answer. Just be open to receiving.
Beautiful. Yes. The healing is coming in for you exactly where you need it. So just relax into your breath, into your heart, and into the energy that's streaming in here for you. Oops. Good. And we're going to move into the next component here, which is really some deep relationship work on a couple of different levels. So in Divine Love and Light, install, activate, and anchor the angel technology, the relationship healing chamber. And this is a support chamber. It's coming in for you with these aspects of yourself, these different roles, the masks, the false identities that are clearing for you right now. I'm running the sacred light relationship healing and healing and integrating the shadow self. Really powerful relationship tools. Running these within for all of you and running them for you with these parts and aspects of yourself. Good. And Divine Love and Light, running the deep relationship healing for you with the priority person, place, or event that has or is currently keeping you stuck or bound in these roles right now. So we're running all of this now. Divine Love and Light, create or change it. Beautiful. And we're anchoring these relationship healing components, anchoring them in for you, anchoring them into the relationship healing chamber to help you continue to integrate this piece and go deeper in this part of the healing now. Create or change it. Good.
Good. So every false role that you've been playing, every inherited expectation that doesn't resonate with your soul, just take a moment to honor that, how it once protected you or served you in some way. Just really allowing all of that to be released. We're going to take this further with some technologies for clearing. So starting with Sacred Light Technologies and Divine Love and Light, calling in the Transfiguration device, Excavation, Extractor, Vacuum, Scythe, Magnet, And the magnet it works two ways. One way is to magnetize to, the other is working on the outside of you, pulling out the dense energies. So it's pulling out these dense energies. Sacred light unravel, sacred light dissolve, and sacred light disconnect. So each one of these technologies is working in a very specific and unique way, taking this healing super, super deep and wide across all time and all aspects of yourself.
Beautiful. I'm just going to throw in here a few angel technologies to complement and partner with the technologies that are already at work for you. So it's bringing in activating Earth Augur, unlock, and purge. Okay, greater change it. Just really going deep into the parts where there's stickiness, stubbornness, working with all of these technologies to open all of the places within you that you need to, release these aspects of self that are just not serving you anymore.
Good. And now we're going to take this healing even deeper. We're going to run some activation style energy tools, packets of energy that have very specific instructions for specific focuses. So we're going to start with some alignments. So in Divine Love and Light, running masks off, literally working to dissolve the masks that we've been working with here that are not the true you. Sacrifice. One of those roles that we play often is the one who sacrifices for everyone else. Calling in self-doubt and self-rejection, because ultimately, when we're playing those roles, we're doubting our true self. We're doubting that our true self is enough. And we're rejecting those parts of ourselves. And that leads to self-sabotage. So calling in self-sabotage, alignment, insecurities laid to rest, imposter syndrome. So when we live a false version of ourselves enough, we begin to know, we know deep down that we're being an imposter of our true self. And then that starts to create its own layer of unworthiness. Calling in the worst of vice is advice. This is working with patterns where we can't make decisions on our own without getting what everybody else thinks that we should do. We've lost how to make a decision from our heart. Hive mind is a similar energy anywhere that we're connected to that hive mind, allowing that hive mind to create our programming to inform our lives. And then 3 alignments that are really going to connect you more deeply to your true self. Calling in own your sparkle, believe in yourself, and free at last. There's nothing more freeing that I can think of than allowing ourselves to be our true selves.
Good. We're going to kind of bring into this cocktail of tools that are running for you here a few energetic allergy healing tools as well. So in Divine Love and Light, running connecting to source. So really working on your relationships, your connections, clearing out distortion within those connections to your higher self, to source light in any way, shape, or form, anywhere that's been stifled or kind of stymied in a sense, so that you can more deeply connect into your divine authenticity. Also running healing your relationship with people, which has a lot of tools and instructions to clean out kind of contract, kind of obligatory type energies to other people that keep you stuck in just these same types of roles and patterns that we're talking about here today. Also running put down your burden, and that goes along with that really well, kind of moving more into the burden energies of the responsibilities, those obligations that possibly we're taking on that are doing more harm than good, right? And certainly keeping us from creating joy in our lives and being our authentic selves. And then going into some trauma type wounds and patterns that can be a part of these identities and stories that we adopt for ourselves, running earth trauma healing and the God wound trauma healing, sovereign freedom, and going really deep on that pattern that we've talked about quite a bit here about worthiness, healing your relationship with worthiness. I'm running all of these as well here. Do I live in light, creator, change it? Good.
Good. And as I'm looking at the comments, there's quite a few comments about the fear of abandonment. So I'm going to bring in my trauma of abandonment symbol here. Divine love and light, creator, change it. And then also moving back into those activation style tools here. So we're going to run Thyroid Truth Activator. This is from our most recent Sacred Light health focused class. But as we know, there are many different roots of every issue, and many of those roots are emotional. So this tool is clearing suppression, fear, and unworthiness tied to self-expression and truth. Couldn't be more perfect for this topic, while restoring confidence, clarity, and the safety to speak and live your truth. So running that now in Divine Love and Light, creator, change it. Just feeling that coming in. You may feel that even coming into your throat area. If you're feeling that, just allow yourself to cough or clear your throat. And then along with that, so much of our programming is taken on in childhood. So we're going to bring in Sacred Light Childhood Trauma Healing and Divine Love and Light, creator, change it. This is a big energy packet that goes really, really deep on all forms of childhood trauma.
Good. Just scanning your comments still, and we're still bringing those right into this container as we're moving through all of this healing work. And we're going to keep going with just a few more things here. So in Divine Love and Light, we're going to work with the Sacred Light Reclaiming Your Power series. This is a perfect time with all of the deep work that's already processing, you're already working to integrate, to kind of call back our power, call back the parts and aspects of ourselves that hold our greatest power, that hold our most authentic expression. Um, so Divine Love and Light running, reclaiming my root chakra. It's a whole series here, reclaiming my sexual organs, reclaiming my heart, reclaiming my mental body and my mind, reclaiming my sacred vessel, my body, right? My soul, reclaiming my womb, reclaiming my light, reclaiming my transpersonal chakras, reclaiming my voice, reclaiming my sight, and reclaiming my ears, and just really allowing yourselves to visualize that return, that light returning to all of your being, that power returning as these are running. Creator, change it. Good.
Beautiful. Now we have a few more Sacred Light tools here. So in Divine Love and Light, calling in the journey home, really supporting you on your journey back to your true self. Calling in Archangel Michael in the blue cloak of protection and sword of truth, activating the virtues of courage, strength, and truth. In this world, it takes courage sometimes to live our truth. And so supporting you in that. Also calling in the golden Christ light activation. A couple of energetic allergy healing tools, the golden harmonic of the one heart, sovereign boundaries seal, and the sacred soul alignment sovereignty. Putting all of these now into divine love and light, create or change it.
Good.
Good.
Good. And activating the Angel Technologies original template reset or technology, original template reset for authenticity and sovereignty. So bringing in those, activating those reset points where you need it, back to that original, sovereign, and authentic template that you're ready to anchor into now. Good.
Good. So one last bit here with a couple of technologies. So in Divine Love and Light, activating Sacred Light Heart Healer or Heart to Heart. This is our newest technology, I think, that came in Shasta when we hosted our retreat just a few weeks ago. And the Connect symbol, activating these for a deeper connection between your human aspect and your true, divine, authentic self. Really, I'm also going to bring in Sacred Light Merge here. Merging your human expression of your divinity with your soul expression of your divinity. Just feeling yourself growing stronger, growing brighter, stepping into the truth of who you are. We're going to finish all of this with a spoken reclamation to anchor authenticity. So we invite you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your solar plexus. And we're going to invite you to speak out loud, if you can, after us, just allowing these very words and the frequencies they carry vibrate into every cell of your being. So here we go. I release all false identities, masks, and roles that no longer serve my highest truth.
I dissolve every script I inherited that asked me to be less than who I am.
Good. I reclaim my sovereign right to exist, to express and create from my authentic self.
My thoughts, words, actions, and beliefs move in harmony with my soul's truth.
I am free. I am whole. I am the living embodiment of my soul's light. Good. And we invite you to just take 3 deep breaths in to really anchor this reclamation. So breathing in with us. And as you exhale, releasing anything else that's left there. Breathing in. Exhaling out any false identities or echoes of false identities. And one more deep breath in all the way into the bottom of your belly, accepting all of this as truth for yourself. And feel the light of your true essence anchoring through your heart down into Gaia. And we're going to anchor all of this in with sacred light flows and divine love and light. Creator, change it. Good. And just bringing your awareness all the way back into the present moment. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready. And
Ooh.
welcome back. We'd love to hear how you're feeling. If you're feeling more authentic, if you're feeling free from these false identities, and any experience you might have had throughout that really powerful healing.
Yeah, and just also a little side note that you're going to be processing and integrating what, what you've just received for could be a while. Depends on how quickly you run energy in your body and through your energy systems. So that varies from person to person. You're definitely going to want to repeat this healing and allow it to take you, all the way to the places and spaces that it offers you. So for some of you, that's going to be repeating it every day for it could be weeks that it still feels like it's bringing those deeper clearings and more solidly anchoring you into authenticity and sovereignty. Okay. And also just know that we did a lot, and the container that we created with all of the technologies is really what allowed us to do that. Otherwise, it would just be too much. And with that said, though, it's also going to be true for many of you that you didn't even fully receive everything that you heard us kind of bringing in today because you wouldn't have the ability to just process all of that in one go like that. So again, that's another reason to repeat the healing and make sure you're receiving it all fully, and then just really allow it to be a continued gift that keeps this unfolding going, right? Um, Bringing healing to these parts of you that just aren't who you are so that you can release those, let those go, and continue to become more and more in resonance with your authentic light, right? Your authentic soul expression, because we need you, right? The whole world needs your authentic light. So we need you to be you.
And you need you to be you.
Exactly. Well, that first, but we need you too. All right. So, also just that reminder to drink plenty of water because you're processing a lot. That what that means is that there's going to be um, toxins leaving your body, not just emotional toxins, not just programming type toxins, but the different physical toxins that are connected to those that we've been holding in our bodies that are connected to these patterns and these programs and energies. So it can be metals, can be chemicals, can be pathogenic organisms, or their kind of byproducts and whatnot that are in the body. So a lot of water to help you really flush out your systems, your body, keeping that going. An Epsom salt bath can be really helpful for that process as well. Getting rest if you need it. You might feel really, really sleepy. That's okay. You're just busy processing a lot that you've needed. Okay. So just know that, and that will pass. And as you repeat the healing, any other little symptoms that are, popping up, maybe moving through you, will calm down because that can happen when we're going deep into healing that we're really needing, and especially when they're connected to a lot of those sort of physical toxic sort of elements in the body as well. Okay. So be gentle with yourselves, loving with yourselves. Take a walk outside if you can, whatever it is that helps you stay grounded and move energy through your body. Yeah, and those toxins. Good. I'm seeing lots of thank yous. You're
Lots
so
of really
welcome.
good comments. So Shireen says, thank you. What a beautiful experience. Definitely resonated with exactly what I have been sensing, what has been wanting to come in. Thank you for this support, the sacred container to magnify the work we are doing together. Beautiful.
Well,
So I think that kind of is the perfect segue into what we have to share today.
I think so. So, what are we sharing? We are sharing what some of you already know, but it's time. So, we're really gonna, we're opening the doors as of today to something that we've been dreaming about for years, something that um, would really serve as a true home for this work that we're here to facilitate for those that are, that resonate with us, with this work that we're doing, with the healing that's happening, that you're experiencing, that you're receiving, for growth and for the sacred community that continues to blossom around it. So, this is Co-Creating Miracles Academy. And we have a lot to share here, but we're really going to focus today on um, a specific pathway that is held within the Co-Creating Miracles Academy, which is the Academy itself is a full spectrum sanctuary for both healing and mastery. Okay, it's a living, breathing community, a place where you can come to be nourished, supported, guided as you continue to heal and evolve. Okay, and it contains two pathways, and we're going to mostly talk about one pathway today because we're just now opening the doors to our full communities for this specific pathway, and it's called the Pathway to Healing.
So that's what we're unveiling today. We're also going to share a bit about our pathway to mastery, which is for our practitioners. And the pathway to mastery includes the pathway to healing. So we're going to start with this. This academy is something that we've been working on for 3 years, and we unveiled it to our practitioners last month was our first month with the pathway to mastery. And now we're ready to offer to all of you who feel called this opportunity. And one of the things that we hear from people every time we do anything together is how powerful you all feel the work that we do together. There is something otherworldly that we don't even have words to explain, that the synergy when both of us combine our energies and our modalities, our individual modalities and sacred light, and use those things together in healing work with you all. And this is our answer to what so many of you guys have been asking us for years. So if your heart and your soul and your body and all of you has been asking for a way to stay consistent with your healing, that's one of the things that we hear from people that you struggle with the most is stop and start. It's so easy to start something, oftentimes, sometimes not, but the difficulty is in the consistency and the continuation. And truly the magic of transformation lies within consistency. So something simple, right? If it's too complicated, we're not going to do it. Something steady, something regular, something easy to fit into your own schedule, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, whether you're a full-time stay-at-home mom, running a Fortune 500 company, or anything in between. Something that's easy to fit in to your lifestyle. This is why we created the Pathway to Healing. So within this container, every month we come together for a live workshop, much like you just experienced. There'll be about 75 to 90 minutes long every month. All of us together, which, as you know, amplifies everything that's happening. So everyone within that container is amplifying the energy of the whole container. Each workshop will be guided by higher wisdom, the inspiration that flows through us when we're connected to all of you and tuning into what is going to serve the community the most. This is where we get inspiration for things like what we've just done today. Every session is going to be designed, or is designed. You've just experienced, a version of what we're going to be doing. Really to meet you exactly where you are. So through the comments, we could see a lot of you are in many different places. Some of you know exactly, this is the mask I'm ready to let go of today. Some of you aren't sure, because the more masks we wear, the more we lose connection to ourselves and who we even are and what we even want. I know there was a time in my life I didn't know myself as an individual. I was a mom and a wife and a daughter and a member of my church, and I forgot that I was Elysia and what I wanted. And it was a shocking moment when I realized that. It was actually when I was watching Oprah, and she was talking about putting your own mask on, that whole analogy. And I was like, and it made me mad. I'm like, how could somebody, put themselves first ahead of their children? That was how disconnected I was. And that putting ourselves first and being dedicated to our own path is not putting ourselves ahead of our children. It's allowing us to show up as who we are for our children and to teach them to do the same thing. So, but I was very disconnected from myself.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, my point is, this work meets you there, whatever stage of healing you're at. So in these calls, we're going to weave together the full spectrum of our multidimensional modalities. You just experienced this, all of our tools across the modalities, bringing them together, sacred light tools and technologies, sacred soul alignment and sacred soul symbols, quantum technologies, energetic allergy healing and energetic angel healing technologies. And when all of these energies come together, something truly miraculous happens. And we sometimes don't even have words for it, but we hear from you guys all the time. What happens for you when our energies and our modalities combine? Layers just lift. Emotions that may have been weighing you down for your whole life begin to soften. And the things that you carried for years, decades, your whole life, lifetimes, can shift sometimes even in moments. And hopefully you had a bit of that experience today. So every month, as part of this container, you'll receive the live call and the full replay access in our online portal. So you never have to worry if you can't be there live. We love it when you guys are there live, but if you're not able to be, that full session is there for you within usually a couple of hours of the live call. The entire experience, the entire workshop video of that, and the isolated healing, and any, if we do a reflection journal, all of that will be available to you, or any practices that we give you to go along with it. It's all available in your online portal. Very easy to access. There's an app that makes it super easy. And it makes it super easy to repeat the healings, because we want you guys to keep repeating the healings, to go deeper every time. And so we make that easy. All you have to do is go into the app, click play. You don't have to download it. You don't have to try to figure out where it is on your computer. How many times have we done that? Like, I downloaded something, but I don't know what it's called, and I don't know where it is, and I can't find it. This is easy. You just go into the app, you click the play button, and it plays for you right there anytime you want to access it. It's super easy.
Click and play healing.
Yes.
We need things that are easy, or we just don't
We're
get
not
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do it. I'm not going to do something if I have to hunt for it. I get distracted and I forget what I was doing and forget to come back to it. And some of these will include integration practices, reflection journals, ways to take the healing even deeper and expand it even more. And of course, the community connection. That's one of the things that we love creating. And that's something that brings so much joy to so many of us. So if you're seeking community of like-minded people who are on the same path, devoted to becoming their best self, there's no better community out there that exists. We have a Facebook group for the whole academy that you can be a part of.
And how many times do we hear from possibly some of you that are here right now have told us how they love to come to anything we do that's live, even
Yeah.
if there's no healing happening, even if it's just like making an announcement for, to practitioners or to the community, because the energy feels so good and it's just uplifting, even if we're not, consciously doing all this healing work. So the energy of our incredible communities are amazing and can feel so good just to be a part of.
We have the best community in the
We
whole
do.
world.
We love you all. Amazing, amazing hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is really your space for devoting to yourself and to moving into the highest possible version of yourself consistently. And that's the piece that most of us miss, is the consistency in everything, right? In trying to eat healthy, in a new exercise routine, in meditation, whatever it is that we're trying to change in our life, it's the consistency piece that is the most challenging for most people. And so
Hmm.
this is automatically consistent for you.
Hmm.
Every month, like clockwork, whether you're there live or joining us for the replay. So the doors are open for a limited time. So for the next, what is today, the 16th? For the
Hmm.
next 2 weeks, basically until October 31st, you can join us as a founding member. We want you guys to be a founding member. We've been working on this for 3 years, literally, and we love you guys. And a founding member, like, that's so special to us. So we're giving you a discount to become a founding member at $44 a month for all of this with both of us. And on November 1st, that price goes up to 55. We also have an annual membership option. So if you join for the whole year, commit to yourself that you're going to be consistent with this for a whole year. And I can't even imagine what your life is going to look like at the end of that. You can join for the price of 10 months. So it's $444 for the whole year. You get 2 months free. And then that price goes up to $555 November 1st. Your rate, that founders member rate, is locked in forever for the whole life of your commitment to this while you remain in the academy. If you choose to leave for whatever reason and come back, you would be coming back at that the normal regular price. And then we're going to also be putting this workshop, the isolated healing and the reflection journal, into your membership portal so that you have that to easily find, along with all of your other healing things that you may have from us in the Kajabi app. Kajabi is the platform that we use for all of our online courses. So I put the link in the Zoom and we will be sending it out as well. Many of you are already in the pathway to mastery pathway. And Kim's going to talk about that in a minute. And if you are, you don't need to join the pathway to healing. Or if you are a practitioner and you want that level of support, which is incredible, we're going to share more in a minute. The pathway to healing is included. So you don't have to sign up for both of them, just one.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about the pathway to mastery. You may have heard us talk about this before. maybe you haven't. So, Pathway to Mastery is that academy under the academy umbrella. It's that other pathway, as Elysia mentioned, it includes the pathway to healing. So, this is um, a pathway that's dedicated to healers, to the healing arts, to our practitioners across the modalities, whether you're a practitioner of one of the modalities, all of the modalities, or whatever sort of configuration of trainings that you have kind of under your belt and the different tools that you have in your toolbox. So the pathway to mastery really um, brings together everything we've taught across our modalities. So again, that's sacred light modality, sacred soul alignment, and energetic allergy healing, and what falls under those umbrellas. So, and it gives you a place, a space, it's a community to receive ongoing direct mentorship from Elysia and I monthly, just like these Pathway to Healing workshops will be monthly. Um, it gives you access to brand new advanced tools kind of in real time as we create them. And it gives you that place, that space for, real integration and not in one day, not in a week, not in a month, but all year long. So, um, if you've ever thought, I've taken the classes, I've taken the courses as practitioners for practitioner training specifically is what I'm talking about right now, but I'm not sure how to bring it all together or how to kind of integrate all the tools together. This is the space that literally was made for you. This is such a love of ours is to be able to deliver, the highest level of guidance, mentorship, ongoing training that we can. And this is what we've created to be able to do just that. So the pathway to mastery includes a lot of things, actually. So it's got the monthly mastery workshops. They're going to probably be about 90-minute sessions. They will include live demonstrations. We already did our first live demonstration last month in that first workshop. Direct mentorship, attunements to brand new sacred light tools. And as they get created, they get shared here first. So no more waiting for a year or two or whatever it is for us to get new tools in a course and, deliverable to you in a training. That's what this academy and this particular pathway is really all about. It helps us and it helps us help you. And it helps us, help you stay really on that cutting edge and really current with the most, powerful, tools that we're being guided to create to support us in whatever areas are, right here, right now. And we want you to have them immediately. So we get to do that in this pathway. It also includes early access to select new tools from Sacred Soul Alignment and Energetic Allergy Healing. Those course trainings all of those tools will still be in their own respective courses, but we will be bringing a few of those to the table in training in this pathway as are fitting, as we're kind of guided to along the way. So that's exciting as well. It also includes free retakes of programs that you've taken in the past. Excuse me, I'm going to change that wording there. That's courses. So I said programs, I meant courses. So free retakes to the training courses that you've already taken. So there have been courses in the past where we've had allowed you guys to come in, practitioners to come in with no extra cost. But sometimes when we're doing, a lot of updates, bringing in new tools, new trainings, and the courses are expanding, which they always do, then there's often a retake fee that's somewhere between like 97 and maybe 247 or so, kind of based on what's being added. So if you're part of the Pathway to Mastery, those retakes, as we are teaching new live courses or teaching live courses again, I should say, will be included for you. There could be some exception to that rule, just have to say that out loud, but that would mean a course is maybe doubling in size or something like that, something pretty major for that. So, but mostly you can count on retakes being included. It also includes exclusive member discounts, 10% off certification courses where you need to fill in trainings, if you've had something uh, on your list that is a training that you've been wanting to take, we want to help you to do that. So 10% off certification courses. And then it also includes 20% off of healing programs. And these are stackable. So healing programs past and current. So new offerings. When you're part of the Pathway to Mastery, you will get to take advantage of that. We also include practice labs, small group opportunities to build confidence and apply what you're learning. So to really sharpen your skills, generate more confidence in how you work with all of the tools across the modalities. Some of you here are trained, taken all the trainings. And, this is that place to really bring it all together and create that deeper relationship and integration of all that you have and helping you to work with those in so that you're creating really the best results possible with all the tools. So the moment you join the pathway to mastery, so we're still talking about that particular pathway, you receive 2 mastery workshop replays. They're already in Kajabi because we've done 2 already.
Actually,
Um,
there's 3 of them up there now.
oh, oh my gosh, there's 3. So we actually started the pathway to mastery with a 2-month free trial
It was a
for
bonus for,
as yeah, as a bonus for another course that we taught earlier this year. So, and then we opened the doors officially to everyone, all practitioners beyond that last month. So 3 mastery workshops in there. And there's already brand new sacred light tools in there that if you're not in there now, they're just waiting for you to grab that training, get attuned to those new tools. And a few of those are healing and integrating your shadow self, which we worked with today. The Sovereign Boundaries Seal, which we worked with also today. And there's a couple of others too, Armor of Trust and Freedom from Self-Sabotage. And I feel like there might be a couple others, but I'm not sure.
yeah, I think there's 5 of them in
Yeah,
there.
so there's new tools and when we're doing a training course, if you're a practitioner, we run the healings before we attune you to them. So a lot of healing is available for you, plus the tools to then apply to yourself and your healing practice, whatever that looks like. And there is a founding member pricing for the Pathway to Mastery as well. And it's available also through October 31st, just like the Pathway to Healing. And that particular pathway, that founding member price is $147 a month, and it's going up to $177 on November 1st. There's also an annual option, which saves you again, just like Pathway to Healing. It saves you 2 months in the year for that annual sort of renewal there. And so that's a really good savings. And the annual is $1470, and that goes up to $1770 on November 1st. And you want to think of this particular pathway to mastery. This really is like being enrolled in a certification course that is just ongoing. Okay. But with all the kind of added sort of benefits and values that we've talked about as well. So it really holds so much value for you. And if you let's talk about the other, what was this? Annual members receive our upcoming Sacred Environments little mini certification course that we're going to be teaching actually next week on Thursday, right, Elysia?
Yeah, next Thursday, the Sacred Light Environments course. Some of you guys got that as a bonus. We're going to also be offering that if you don't have it. Um, you'll hear us talking about that in the next few days for just $297. But you get that as a free gift if you join us for the Pathway to Mastery for the annual option. And
Hmm.
we also have Klarna and Afterpay that, oh no, those aren't available on that. Sorry. Never
Yeah,
mind.
those don't work for the ongoing like subscription type membership spaces. So we looked at that, but they don't work for that. So But also, if you're brand new and you're like just feeling that call to really step into healing, as a healer, maybe you have other modalities that you've been trained in. Maybe you already do healing work even, but you haven't come through any of our particular modality certification trainings. But you want to, right? You want to learn these modalities. There's a pathway also for you to get started there too, because the prerequisite to the pathway to mastery is our Sacred Light Foundations, or what many of you know as Sacred Light Level 1. And we have a special option for you also on the Academy website that's just really for you. And it gives you Sacred Light Foundation so you meet that prerequisite. And it's an amazing course. You can also check it out there. There's a link that'll take you there so you can see what that course is about. And it'll give it to you for about 70% off when you join at either the monthly or annual um, rate.
Option.
Option. Yes. So that's there for you too. And it just, the first payment, if that's you, the first payment's going to be more because it's including the Sacred Light Foundation's course at that 70% off rate. But then after that, you just are back to the whatever that normal monthly or annual um, pricing is. So,
Right.
and let us know if you have any questions because this is a lot of information to take in.
It is a lot of information. So it's all available on the web page. And when you go to the web page, you'll see just basically a message from our heart to you about why we've created this and what's the purpose. And then you can click on either the pathway to healing or the pathway to mastery to check out those different options.
Hmm.
So again, the founders, we love the founders. The founders pricing ends on October 31st for both containers. And there's a question about is this taking place of your sanctuary?
Oh, I had a feeling that may come up because
Yeah.
I've been um, offering the Miracle Healing Sanctuary, and that's me, bringing myself, my energy, my tools, along with Sacred Light tools to those workshops for personal healing as well. And we'll see right now, the sanctuary year goes March to March. So, and we've been doing this since 2023. And I love this community, the sanctuary community, and I love the space and all of that. I will see after February there if it still is something that I can do along with everything else I'm doing as well, which is a lot of things. Some of you really know. Um, so we'll see at that time. And so I can't totally call that right now, but I am offering a 20% discount for you whichever pathway, if you want to join one of these pathways, right? Pathway to healing or pathway to mastery, either pathway.
So that's a 20% discount on your sanctuary,
On my
not
sanctuary.
on the Co-Creating Miracles
That's
Academy.
right. That's right.
Just
On
to
the Miracle
clarify.
Healing Sanctuary, if you would like to continue to be a part of that and do both, because there's no um, repeats. Nothing we've done in the sanctuary is going to be ever exactly what we're doing together in the academy. So those healings, those workshops, um, and what we continue to do there too, will be unique and powerful. So just email my team, right? Which is really kind of our team. But you can
Same
email,
people, different
yes,
email address.
yes, but email at hello@kimberlycarlson.com and just say, hey, Kim said. I could have a discount on the sanctuary if I'm part of the Co-Creating Miracles Academy, and we'll make that happen for you. Okay.
Good. And Sandy's asking to repeat the information about the 70% discount. So if you are interested in joining us in the pathway to mastery and you do not have Sacred Light Level 1, you can join and purchase Sacred Light Level 1 at a 70% discount. So what that looks like is this Sacred Light level 1 is normally $1,000, $997. You could get that class, which is an incredible class. It's about 9 hours of training and 8 extremely powerful tools that have been the foundation of everything else that we've created, for $297. And so what that looks like is if you join it for the monthly option, your first payment includes Sacred Light level 1, and I believe it's $444 for Sacred Light level 1 and your first month of the Pathway to Mastery. And then after that, each month it would be the regular Pathway to Mastery price. And then for the annual option, it's $297 plus $470, whatever that would be. So that's the 70% discount. It's on Sacred Light level 1. What is the Sacred Light Foundations course? You can check it out on our website, co-creatingmiracle.com, but it is an expanded version of the tools that we started creating in 2013. And there are 8 tools that are extremely versatile. So they're working with all the energy patterns that we work with: beliefs, trauma, trapped emotions, thought forms, crystallized thought forms, entities, implants, portals,
Hooks, cords, attachments.
oath, vows, and contracts.
Oath, vows, contracts. Yeah.
There's 8 foundational tools that literally everything else that we've built is built on that foundation. So that's why it's a prerequisite. And it's also where we do a lot of training on how to work with a client that we don't necessarily want to repeat every time we teach a class. So that's the prerequisite. You don't even have to have any of our other modalities. You just have to have that.
Oh, thank you, Patty, for dropping that link in there. You can also find that link in the payment option kind of boxes on these web pages as well. It'll take you there if you need that, because there's a box that's just for you if you need that prerequisite. So good. Any
Is the
questions?
Sacred Light class available for Klarna? Yeah, so if you just wanted to purchase the Sacred Light level 1 and not the Academy, but purchase that on its own, Klarna and Afterpay are options for that, and the full price of that's $997. Okay, so we've shared a lot with you today. If you have any questions, you can email us. Just reply to any email that you've received from us, or email hello@cocreatingmiracle.com. We can't wait to welcome you in to this container. And our first call, when is it? Next week, I think.
Yeah, it's coming up. Is it the 20? Wait.
Oh, it's the
Oh, it's the
29th.
29th. So
So you
not
have
next week.
almost 2 weeks. But this workshop will be there for you.
Yep.
To repeat easily, and with the healing and all of that. And then our first live call is October 29th. The calls will generally be on the second Wednesday of the month, but the first 3 months with holidays and things, it's a little bit different. You can see the schedule inside Kajabi when you join. But after starting January, it will generally be on the second Wednesday of the month at 12 o'clock Pacific time. And then the Pathway to Mastery calls are on the 4th Friday of the month at 12 o'clock Pacific time. November and December will be different because of the holidays. So we actually have one more thing that we want to share with you guys. And we've shared this in a small setting a couple of times, but we want to share it right here again, briefly, and then we're going to let you go. We are holding a very special container right now, and we have 1 spot left. And this is a 6-month small group for 6 people, healing and mentorship journey. If you are one of the 5 people who have already joined, you can look for an email with tomorrow with some details and things that we need from you. But this is called Radiant Expansion, and this came through really as a divine inspiration when we were in Shasta for the retreat. we had just wrapped up our last 6-month small group container, and many of those people were there with us in Shasta, and were telling us that they want more of this. And so we weren't planning on doing this, but we decided to go ahead and open another container. And there's something really special about this one. I'm just going to lead with it. We had decided not to do our Mount Shasta, our annual Mount Shasta retreat before we went to Shasta this year. We decided we're focusing on so many things. We don't have time to, mostly it's the preparation and, letting everybody know that it's available part, not the necessarily leading the retreat part. It's everything that leads up to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had decided not to do that this year. We needed a break from hosting a retreat. But the people at the retreat were like, oh no, but what are we going to do? And so we just had this divine inspiration. We talked to Stephen, the guy that owns Guru Shasta, which is the place that we love to host retreats in Shasta. And we asked him, could we bring just a small group here and just rent the house? Because there's all these other buildings that people stay in. Is that possible? And he said, yes. We didn't think he was going to say yes because he's booked a year out in advance, like immediately for the whole thing. But we were one of the first retreats that he ever hosted there. So he's like, okay, I'll do this for you guys. So the Radiant Expansion 6-month small group container includes your own private retreat in Mount Shasta. And this will be late June to July. We haven't heard from him exactly the dates that are available yet. It will also depend on the people that are in the container, making sure it works for everybody. And on this retreat, it will be a very intimate experience. We're not going to be taking time to teach a class like we have in the last few years during our retreat. So it's going to go very, very deep. It will be extremely renewing and refreshing for your soul. And you get to join together with the ladies that you've just spent the last 6 months getting really close and intimate with, including us, of course. And during this retreat, for each individual, we will be doing a private session with both of us and you. And you could do it at the Guru Shasta, beautiful location. We could do it there and find a private spot there. Or it could be in any one of the spots that we take people to that you feel super connected to. It could be the Temple of Love. It could be up on Mount Shasta itself, up in, Panther Meadows won't be open then, but up in one of the places on the mountain itself. It could be in the Peace Gardens. So wherever you feel most in resonance with, you get a private session with both of us during that retreat. So it includes that, and that was a very big thing that came in for us, and that's a very large, huge value for those of you guys who are joining us. So aside from that, it includes 2 calls every month. One of the calls will be a structured call that will be a planned call. All the calls are with both of us that will have teaching and healing and based on what the group needs are. And then the second call will be what is a hot seat call. We call it a hot seat call. And these are beyond explanation. They usually go for about a half an hour, 20 to 30 minutes with each individual, with just us. So it's kind of like having a mini private session with us every month, but you also get everything with everyone in the group. And what happens is, without an exception, and this will be our 4th container that we've done together with this, without exception, every single person in the group is receiving something from everybody else's healing. And sometimes by the time we get to the last person, they're like, I don't know what I want to work on because everything I had is cleared from what you did on for everybody else. So then we have to dive a little deep and find something new to work on for them. But it is the most transformational thing that we do. And it's not for everyone. It's definitely an investment. This also includes 50% off of any certification course that you don't have, including anything new.
Hmm.
during that 6 months with us. So if you have certifications that you haven't taken that you want to take, that's a huge significant savings for you. So the investment is the highest investment of anything that we offer. It's $11,000 if you pay in full. It includes all of that, the retreat, um, including the accommodations and everything that we're doing at the retreat. Or we have a 5-month payment plan of 5 months payments of $2,222. So that we have one spot left, and we're going to be getting going here pretty quickly. And we also will be doing a short private call with each person, each of the 6 people, to really get clear on exactly what your goals are for this container so that we can design a curated experience for everyone that's in it, and also to find out what your availability is, because whatever, all the calls will be based on the availability of everyone in the container so that everyone has the opportunity to show up. And if ever, you aren't able to show up, the replays are available to you.
Yeah, and I just want to add that, what is radiant expansion? Because this is what we were guided to call it. Um, just, think about what radiant expansion means to you, letting go of limiting stories that have, kept you small, just like what we're working on here today, really, with these false identities and masks, the roles, clearing what's been in the way of, that deeper embodiment of your own power, your own soul essence, right? Living life and love at full capacity, bringing lightness, laughter, and play back into your back into your daily life. That's radiance, right? Reclaiming freedom, choice, and sovereignty and how you move through the world, exploring new paradigms, fresh perspectives, and really the masterpiece that your soul always intended you to be. So it's not a one size fits all program. It's an invitation into your personal paradigm shift, truly, to, recapture the joy, the play, the imagination, and um, awaken your fullest life. And that's what these types of containers allow us to do. And that's why we love them and they're very special. And so, if this is you, please email us at hello@co-creatingmiracle.com. If you would like to, if you just know you're in, let us know. If you would like to have a conversation, like, is this a good fit for me? We can make ourselves available to have that conversation. Okay. So just let us know because we're going to be starting soon.
And
And
this really is a curated experience for each
yeah.
individual. So you can work on whatever it is that you want to work on in your life, whether that's your business, if you're a healer doing this work professionally out there in the world, whether it's creating a conscious relationship, maybe you're calling in love, whether it's a health focus, anything, because whether it's a big transition in life, that's where we tend to have a lot of people who are going through a big transition in their life that join these containers, because everything's all related. And what one person may be working on business while you're working on moving into the next chapter of your life, but it's going to be related. The issues that are going to come up are going to be related. So it's a very, very curated experience.
Mhm.
So that's that. And yeah, just reach out if you have questions about it, or if you are ready to hop in
Yeah.
to that last spot.
Yeah.
So this really is the end of our masterclass. We've shared a lot. The replay is available on YouTube. And if you registered, you'll get the audio of the healing probably tomorrow. It's going to take us a day or so to edit that. So watch for that tomorrow if you joined us by registering. If not, you want it, you can go quick register at co-creatingmiracle.com/freedom. And you'll get that when we send it out tomorrow.
Good. So whether you're looking at the academy and whether you're looking at, joining for your own personal healing or stepping into your healer mastery, this academy was truly created for you, to hold you, to guide you, to support your ongoing growth, your journey, It's a place where you'll always have a community that understands your heart, your path, your journey, a rhythm of live connection and support, real tools that bring tangible change, and a field of energy that keeps your momentum alive. And this is so important. In a world that can feel uncertain and fast moving, you can look at this as your sanctuary, right? A place to stay grounded in love, in authenticity, right? Anchored into your soul light and aligned with your higher direction. So no matter which pathway you choose, if you're coming in to join us in the academy, we know powerful transformation awaits you on either of those pathways. And we can't wait to kind of welcome you into the academy if you're jumping in.
Yes. All right. Thank you to everyone, especially those of you who stayed on to listen to all of that.
You know,
And we can't wait to see you all wherever we see you next, whether that's in the academy, radiant expansion, or on our next free healing.
yep. Much love to all. Bye for
Bye for
now.
now.